So, you want to know the plot of Shakespeare's Measure for Measure?
Do I?
Okay, well, to set the scene, it's 1604 in Vienna, and things are pretty wild.
The Duke has been reclusively studying in his book-lined tower, oblivious to his city getting wilder and more lawless daily, and mayhem reigns. Upon realizing how out of control his city has become, he appoints Angelo, the most upright, ascetic man he knows, as his deputy to rule in his stead, and bring some order to the chaos.
Angelo takes charge of the city and begins enforcing all the laws that the Duke had let lapse.
The first victim of Angelo's new enforcement is Claudio, a young man who got his fiancée pregnant, which is now an offense punishable by death. Claudio's arrested, but before he's led away to jail, he's able to ask his friend Lucio to visit his sister Isabella at the convent, where she's a novitiate.
Claudio is hoping that Isabella will be able to persuade Angelo to lighten his sentence because she's renowned for her persuasive powers.
Lucio visits Isabella at the convent and convinces her to appeal to Angelo about Claudio's plight.
Angelo offers to spare Claudio's life, but only on the condition that Isabella sleep with him. As a young novitiate, she is horrified by the proposition and refuses in order to protect her chastity.
Isabella then visits her brother Claudio in prison and explains Angelo's offer and her refusal. Claudio begs Isabella to submit to Angelo, but she refuses again.
The Duke, disguised as a monk, overhears their conversation and secretly tells Isabella of a plan to save Claudio's life without violating her vow of chastity. He reveals that Angelo has an ex-fiancée, Mariana, whom he abandoned when her dowry fell through, but who is still in love with him. The Duke suggests a bed trick. Mariana will take Isabella's place and sleep with Angelo, which will preserve Isabella's chastity while fulfilling her end of the bargain to spare Claudio's life. The women agree and fool Angelo into sleeping with Mariana.
The provost and the disguised Duke devise a plan to execute another prisoner instead of Claudio, although the prisoner, Barnardine, is less keen on the idea of such a hasty death. Handily, another prisoner has just died of a fever, and his head is sent to Angelo instead of Claudio's.
The disguised Duke tells Isabella that Claudio has been executed despite their best efforts. She is distraught, but the Duke comforts her by saying she will have the opportunity to reveal Angelo's despicable conduct to the Duke once he returns. Upon the Duke's return, Isabella publicly denounces Angelo in the street, but the Duke pretends to disbelieve her and has her arrested.
The Duke, still in disguise, confirms Isabella and Mariana's stories and, during a scuffle with Lucio, is revealed to be the returned Duke.
The now exposed Duke orders Angelo to marry Mariana and then condemns Angelo to death. But Isabella and Mariana plead for Angelo's life, and the Duke relents.
The Duke then has both Barnardine and Claudio brought before him, frees Barnardine, and reveals that Claudio's alive.
The play ends when the Duke appears to propose marriage to Isabella.
But Isabella has no more lines and does not answer him.